Hello. How are you guys doing? It is so late. It is like 3:51. It's not like, it is exactly 3:51. And I just woke up a little bit ago. I've had the craziest day. Like crazy good, like not crazy bad. Let me show you. Real quick. We have had so much, look at that, so much snow today. Let me put this back. I got up today and I went into my office, and Alex had a meeting this morning, and he came home and he was super tired, and so he slept all day. He slept till like 4 o'clock, and then he went and had lunch with a friend of his that's in town visiting. And Christmas week and after is always so busy for us because we have so many people like in town visiting, especially Alex, because like, I mean, I'm older, so most of my friends like have either moved away and have families and they don't really come home anymore, you know, but Alex is still kind of that age where like friends of his just recently got married, or, you know, like friends of his from high school still aren't married, and so they come home at Christmas time, or they're here and they're off. And so he went out and had lunch with a good friend of his today. But anyway, and so I went into my office to write for a while because I wanted to get some stuff done. And like when I went into my office, it was like cold outside. It's 16 degrees right now, and it's supposed to, by 4 o'clock tomorrow, drop down to 0 and be like below 0 wind chill factors. It's supposed to be, I mean, unbelievable here, which is already bad because the dogs aren't wanting to go outside. Well, Boo Radley doesn't care. Boo Radley kind of like loves the cold, and he just like is a bunny rabbit. He like jumps everywhere in the snow. Boo Radley is so cute in the snow. I'll have to record some of it tomorrow because I want that on video anyway, just of him like playing around in the snow. By the way, I have my heat on to 85, 90 in here, so I'm sure that I'm gonna have to like do this in 2 separate spots because my camera will probably shut off at some point, because that seems to be the thing recently. But anyway, I came out of my office at like, let's see, about, what time did I leave my office? Like 4:30, something like that. And it was like we had like 2 inches of snow, and I was like, I didn't even know it was supposed to snow today. Like seriously, I didn't even know it was supposed to snow. And it was beautiful. Oh my god, it was so pretty. But it just kept on snowing and snowing and snowing. Now, you know that I've wanted snow forever. I'm like driving through all this area that's like farmland right now. It's like real hilly farmland. I would show you, but I don't want to show you with the camera while I'm driving. But it is gorgeous. It's like woods and trees and like little creeks that go through. And that's like the area of Indiana that I live. If you've ever seen the TV show, I've said this on here before, but if you're new to my vlog, if you've ever seen the TV show Stranger Things, like where I live looks very similar to that, kind of. That's more southern Indiana, but like here, as I'm coming up on this stop sign, you can see, there's like all the woods next to it. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go. Down that spooky road. Can I just tell you that if you go down that road right there, that takes you to the Herb Baumeister house, which I did I always get kind of a little spooked when I drive by here, which is where I did the paranormal investigation. I was thinking about that today. I was like, God, that seems like so long ago that I did the paranormal investigation on here. Do you guys remember that? So anyway, that was kind of it ended up being kind of a really sad night because I always look at things as so emotional, but it was kind of that was kind of a fun night. I'm glad I did that. I almost backed out of it because I was so terrified to do it. And Melissa was like, oh no, we're doing this. I was talking to Melissa today. She said, tell everybody I said hi. I said, okay. We're so excited about New Year's. I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to put my fat ass into. I am not, like, I say this every year, but I am in 2018. I'm getting into shape. So anyway, so I went and I got a coffee, and then I went to like the post office because I hadn't been there, and the night before, was it 2 nights before or the night before? I don't know. But anyway, I had gone to the post office and put the key in my pocket and come home. And I was like, damn it. And I took the key out and I put it like on the kitchen island. Well, I got to the post office after being stuck in traffic because nobody knows how to drive on these roads, which really are rather slick, honestly. And I used to have a car that had like 4-wheel drive on it. I used to drive a Ford Explorer, like this huge Ford Explorer. And, it was pearl. I missed it. It was so pretty. Anyway, but I could have driven that on ice or snow going 90 miles an hour and it would have been totally fine. Well, my car now, I drive this Ford Escape and it has like no traction, has no 4-wheel drive, no front wheel drive, nothing. It doesn't have anything on it. And so it's like, I'm like this, literally. The roads are a little bit cleared right now, so it's not so bad. They've been out like, you know, putting salt in the roads and clearing them all night long. But I think we're supposed to get more snow the next 2 days, so. But anyway, I got all the way to the post office and then found out that I didn't have a key with me for the post office. So I had to go all the way home. And so I went home and then I filmed my videos for the day. And then I was, I took a shower and then I filmed my videos for the day. Alex had his friend Kayla, who's been in some of my videos. She's the one that's the pacemate, and she's the singer that I talked about. It was her birthday, and they were just like gonna watch a basketball game. It was like 6 of them, and they were having like a onesie birthday party, and Alex got or unicorn birthday party for her. And so Alex went and got like a unicorn onesie from Target. He looked cute in it. And so anyway, I like stuff like that. I like little cute onesies like that, you know? I feel like everybody wears the onesies now. It's like every time you go to music festivals, you see like so many people in onesies, right? And what the hell? My windshield wiper in back is like not really wanting to work real great for me. I don't understand why. But I think was it Ultra or was it the Halloween one? I can't remember. There was this girl. She looked so cute. She was in this Santa Claus onesie. It was real cute. But anyway, so he did that, and he was like, do you want to come? And I was like, and sit around and watch a basketball game? No, I'd rather put toothpicks in my eyes, but no. But anyway, I didn't. And then Tanya was having like 15 people over, and she made lasagna and chili, and they were going to play games. She's obsessed with this game called Nerds. It's some card game, I don't know, but she's going to play this card game with all these people. And she's like, come over. And do you ever have those days where you just don't feel like being around anybody? And I said, I really appreciate it. I just don't feel like being around anybody tonight. And she was like, you're isolating? And I said, no, like, I just want to be at home with the dogs. And honestly, my plan was that all of the Star Wars movies are on demand for free. And so I was going to watch them. I was just going to sit there and watch them all, right, back to back. And so I went and I got Noodles and Company. They have this Chipotle adobe thing. If you live anywhere where there's a Noodles and Company and you like Mexican food and pasta, go get the Chipotle adobo. I have shown it in my video. I'm obsessed with it. It is like hands down one of the, I'm like obsessed. I crave it like 3 times a week. It's so good. So I went and I got that, and then I came home and I sat there and I ate it with the dogs. And my plan was really, honestly, to get into a live stream for like 2 hours, you know? And I was like, at that time, I was kind of like awake. I wasn't really I wasn't tired, but like, I haven't been taking naps as lately because I haven't, you know? It's like I haven't really been tired at night, and I've been doing more live streams and stuff. So that had been what my plan was going to be. And so anyway, I was sitting there and I was watching, like, I turned off Star Wars. I just couldn't get into it, you guys. I know. I'm going to have to, like, really... Well, I wasn't really paying attention to the beginning of it, honestly. I was kind of, like, just looking through BS on my phone. Do you guys have that, like, time hop thing? I'm, like, obsessed with that time hop thing where it, like, shows you back, like, where you were, like, 5 years ago and 3 years ago and stuff. Anyway. So, I was, just sitting there, and then I turned that off, and then I started trying to watch this show. It's like on country music television. I don't know, some channel. It's about couples that moved to Alaska. Have you guys seen this channel? I watched the most random shit. Well, I got like 10 minutes into this Chrisley Knows Best, and then I was like, I just watched this last week. Like, I've seen this one already. So, deleted those, and then I ended up watching House Hunters. It was like lottery winner, I don't know, it was some show about this guy that it was true. I mean, it's like a house hunting show, but like this guy his parents won $7 million in the lottery, and they gave each of the kids like $1 million, and so he like was buying a house in Florida or something. It was so dumb. I don't even know why I watched it. And then like I just kind of laid there and I was like, do you ever just like watch the most random shit? There's some show on Animal Planet, and it's like these amazing pools this guy builds, and I love pools. I love pools. When I was a little kid, I would always like draw these pools that I wanted to have, and they'd always have like saltwater parks, and there'd be a park where they kept sharks and whales, and you know, I mean, they weren't really pools, they were aquariums. But anyway, this guy like builds these incredible pools, and I was so fascinated watching it. And I was like, how have I never seen this show before? I'm like this. Do you guys do that ever? Like you just zone out? So then it was like, it was almost 10 o'clock, and I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this live stream, I need to do it. And PP was like to my right, Boo Radley was to my left, Tucker was laying on the couch, and I thought it was so warm and cozy in our house, and I was like, I'm going to take a nap. Like, Alex isn't going to be home till like 12 or 1. I'm like taking a nap. And, and it was still snowing, and he had texted me, and he's like, I don't know what time I'm going to leave here. I want to wait till it stops snowing. And I said, that's fine, just be safe, and stuff like that. And, so I said, I think I'm going to lay down with the dogs for an hour and then do a live stream. And he said, okay. So I laid down at 10 o'clock and I set my alarm for 11:20. And at 1:45, my phone was going off. And Alex had like called me like 10 times and texted me like 10 times. And he was like so worried about me. He's like, I'm in the driveway behind you. Are you okay? Like, I'm really worried about you. And I was like half asleep. I was like, I crashed. Like, have you guys ever, I mean, I crashed out, like hard crashed. I must have needed to sleep. I mean, I don't know, almost 4 hours. I don't even remember any of it. I remember like just sitting there in bed, and Boo Radley was like pushed up against my back, and I was holding onto Pee-Pee, and I was just like staring out the window, and I could just see it like lightly snowing. It was so pretty. And I was thinking like, because I kept on going to check, I was like, what light do we have on outside? Because we have like motion sensor lights around our house that go on with our security system. And so I was like watching these motion sensor lights. Well, I thought that that's what was going off because it was so bright outside. I was like, are the motion sensor lights just staying on because of the snow? Like I couldn't figure it out, right? And so I kept on like going over and like looking outside because we have like a loft so you can like look outside, and there was no lights on, and it was just the snow outside like was making it seem so bright, you know? And so I was laying there in bed, and I was just like, I had like the window blinds up, and I was just like sitting there, not the windows open, it's way too cold for that, but I had the window blinds open, and I had the fan like right on me, and I was holding Pee-Pee, and I was like looking out the window at the snow, and it was like perfect. I was like, this is perfect. So and then tomorrow is going to be wonderful. I have no plans. Alex and I are going to do a video together, and then we might go out to brunch or something, and he doesn't have any plans tomorrow night, I don't think. And I want to read a little bit tomorrow, make some videos. That's about all I really want to do. And I mean, should we talk about the fact that I hit 100,000 subscribers today? I'm gonna get real emotional if I talk about it. So, you know, like, my fear in talking about it is, if you guys are like long-time wolfpackers, you know, like, I'm scared to talk about it because there was a time when I was at like 40,000 subscribers, and then I lost like 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers. You know, I don't want to sit on here and be like, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so excited, and then like a week from now I lose 5,000 subscribers, and then it's embarrassing, you know? I don't want to do that. I don't want to give, you know, that's embarrassing. So, but I'm so excited. Like, I put this in my video today. It very much reminds me of the quote that I was talking in here about like a week ago from Wonder, where Augie says, I believe that everybody in their life deserves a standing ovation at least once in their life, you know? And I believe that, like, and I know it's not 10 million subscribers, but it feels like a lot. It feels crazy to me, you know? Tanya said to me the other day, I'm thinking about doing this video about like what YouTubers don't really talk about, because like, and here, I'll give you guys a little, for those of you that watch my vlog, because you guys are like the real hardcore ones anyway that really watch me, and, you know, I'll give you a little insight. It's like, there's just like the unwritten rule on YouTube that you don't talk about, like, you know, the messages that you get, or like the numbers or things like that. But like, it's fucking crazy that I have 100,000 subscribers, you know? Like, Tanya said to me the other night, she goes, you're gonna hit 100,000 subscribers this week. And I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. And I said, you know, I don't know. And I said, well, honestly, what I said to her was, I said, I wish it would have happened under different circumstances, but you know what? If something really positive came out of this, I'm fine with that, you know? Like, that's life, I think. And she said, would you just sit and enjoy the moment and for a second? And I was like, no, like, I am. Like, I love it. It's crazy, right? And I looked at her and I go, it's a town. Like, that's fucking crazy. And she goes, what? She goes, you're so cute. And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, you know, you don't say it like arrogantly or anything. She's like, you're so cute. You say it like it's a town. Can you even believe that? Like, because you think of that in terms of it being like a town of people watching your videos. And it's surreal sometimes when I like look at the numbers and I see like that like 50,000 or 80,000 people watch my videos in a day, or even before all this happened, you know, when like 10 or 20,000 people would watch my videos in a day. Or if a video that I did got like, let's just even say it got 5,000 views on it. I mean, 5,000 people, that's like 3 times the size of high school that I went to, you know? And I think about that, like how big high school seemed to me, and that like 3 times that many people, whether they like me or not, whether they agree with what I have to say or not, are watching my, I mean, because it's not like people in high school liked me, you know? It's like all of those people are watching a video that I sat down on my chair and made, you know, with Pee-Pee sitting next to me. And it's like, I don't know that I really conceptualize that sometimes. And then I think about the YouTubers on the level of like Shane Dawson that has like 9 million subscribers, okay? Like, that's a country, you know what I mean? And the thing is that I was watching this Oprah the other night, and she was talking about like when she would have these aha, it's like if you go to, okay, so if you Google this, because I think everybody should watch this. It is, it's called Oprah's aha moment, and it's 52 minutes long, okay? Just put it in the background while you're cleaning the house, okay? I'm begging you to watch this. It's life-changing. It's the disc. Okay, so yesterday I was talking about how I had watched all of these aha moments through the years, and that I had bought my mom the 35th anniversary of Oprah, and it had a whole disc of all of her aha moments on here. Well, this is the disc, okay? This is the disc that I watched. And at the beginning of it, what she says in there is, she shows this moment, and she's talking about, I'm crying because I've had these moments with people before, you know, where you don't know at the time that, like, have you ever had somebody that's, like, impacted you in a way that, like, you know, they have no idea that they impacted you on? You know, like, I've had so many hidden teachers in my life that have really inspired me or gotten me through tough times, you know, that didn't even know at the moment that that's what they were doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, just small moments of things that people have said to me, or kindness, or that people have treated me with compassion in a moment that I really needed it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when, I remember the night that my mom passed away, and I was walking out of the hospital, and like everybody had left before me, and my aunt and uncle were like, still, they were staying there. I don't know what they were doing. They were staying there filling out some paperwork or something, and I was leaving, and I was walking to the parking garage, and I was all by myself. And I don't know why in that moment, but like that moment of walking through the parking garage was like so, like, I felt so very alone, you know? And I remember I passed this woman, and she said, she opened the door for me when I was walking out, and she was like, it's a beautiful evening outside. She said, enjoy it. And I'll never forget that. Like, you know, that she met me with such kindness. And in that moment, she didn't know that 10 minutes before that, you know, or 20 minutes before that, my mom had passed away. And it's like, you know, she met me with this just amazing compassion, you know, and it was like, it's just in the smallest statement of saying, like, it's a beautiful night outside, you know. And I think about that a lot, you know, with people that they always meet people with generosity and kindness. And so Oprah's, in her aha moments, I don't know why I'm so emotional. the end of the year, the end of things always make me very emotional. So anyway, just in looking back on life, but Oprah says in her video, or in her aha moment, she says this woman stopped her on the street. And she said, I used to beat my kids, but I don't anymore. And it's because of you. And Oprah says, what do you mean it's because of me? And she goes, I used to beat my kids, but I don't beat them anymore. And she says, because of something that you said in your video. Or because of something you said in your show. And she said, well, what was it that I said? And Oprah said that in that moment, she started asking people, like, when you say that I changed your life, or when you say that something that I said or did, like, profoundly affected you, what was it? Like, what was that moment that changed it for you? And the woman, so she flips to the scene of the television show where Oprah says, every time you beat a child, you're beating away part of their self-worth. And the woman looked at Oprah and she said, it wasn't the first time. It wasn't the second time. It wasn't the fifth time. But you are so consistent in saying it over and over and over again that I eventually got it. And I hurt, and I don't beat my kids anymore. And, I watched that and I was like, and then she said after that, what she realized was that going forward, everything she did was going to have intention to it. And I talked about this in my video that I did today. That I think it's really important that we live a life of intention. And I get messages from people all the time, and they're like, thank you for inspiring me, or thank you for changing my life. And I think, like, I just try to live a good life, I just try to treat people the way that I would want to be treated. I just try to be a good person. And sometimes I don't know what to say. Sometimes I just send back a blue heart because, like, honestly, the payback for somebody telling me that I inspired them or I got them through a tough time or whatever is so overwhelming. It's like, well, first of all, if that person was in front of me, what I would do is wrap my hands around them or my arms around them and give them a hug and say, I didn't do anything, you did this. I didn't do anything. But thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. Thank you for watching my videos and see me flip a fan and tell some funny Jane and Vivian story and, answer the drama phone. And that took your mind off things, because isn't that what friends are? Isn't that what we are to each other? Is friends? Like, really? That's all I want to do is be friends with people? And, it's like, Tanya, she didn't do some huge deal with me this week when I was going through all this kind of stuff. We went to Meijer, we went and got fountain cokes. We went out to eat. We did the shit that we do, because I didn't need something different. And so I hope for people I can be that consistent friend that you come to my videos and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get Peter, and that's who I am. And, whether I lose 50,000 subscribers or whether I gain a million subscribers, I'm never going to stop doing car vlogs. I'm never going to stop doing booktube videos. I'm never going to stop doing my Peterism. I love that shit too much. I'm never going to edit. I'm going to do exactly what I do now because it's what I love to do. My days will look very similar for the next 10 years probably, and I'm okay with that, other than we may move. But what I want people to know is that I don't feel like YouTubers talk about enough is how much that each one of those numbers on that subscription thing, when it goes up, like how like that just, it builds, it feels so amazing. And how every comment like just boosts your spirits, and how like when I see in there like, I was thinking about Jamie a lot, and she knows who she is, and I know she watches my vlogs, and, she used to go by a different name, and I'm not going to call her out, but, like, a year ago, it was like, she was in my live stream the other night, I think, and, a year ago, we didn't know where she was. She commented on every video, and people were like, they constantly were like, I don't think she'd care if I said this, but they were like, where's Trucker? Where's Trucker? Where's Trucker? And then somebody was like, oh, this is what's going on with her. And they contacted her, and I think it was Autumn that contacted her and said, you know, like, and I said, please make sure that she knows that I'm worried about her and that I think that she's okay, or that I hope that she's okay. And if she needs anything, let me know. And, you know, now Jamie's back and she comments on every video. And that's not missed, okay? And I want that to be known. Like, I think that's who we are, you know? If you watch my videos and you come over here, I think that's who we are. I think we have each other's back, and I think that's what the wolfpack is. And that may sound corny, and people may not get it, and they may not align with that, and that's okay. You know what I mean? I don't care. I really don't. Like, that's okay. Because I want people to have each other's backs. I want people to look out for each other. I want that community built. You know, I think that's cool. And I don't need to have, you know, some huge platform to do that. Like, the paycheck's just not that it's just not that important to me. It just really isn't. It's more important to me. Jesus, this guy is like backing way out into the road. It's just like important for me that I continue to get the messages that say, thank you for getting me through this time, or thank you for inspiring me, or you've really helped me through a dark time, or what you talked about I so related to. Like, I did a video today about toxic people, and so many people said, what you talked about today I so related to. And the reason why those are important for me to keep on getting is that that's validation that what I'm doing is correct, and that what the information and the videos that I'm putting out there are the right things that people want, that people are relating to them. Not because I need the pats on the back, because I don't. For the person out there that has never, ever messaged me, commented, liked anything on my videos, but sitting there and watches consistently because for somehow through my stupid, long, rambling conversations or whatever, my funny videos or my BookTube channel or whatever, I've gotten you through something. Thank you, like, for allowing me to be part of your journey. I don't think you really understand until, like, not you, but like I think people out there, like a lot of these younger YouTubers that like, oh, I love you so much, or you saved my life, or whatever, they don't take those comments seriously, right? Like, you don't get it until you've lived a little bit of life. And I'm not talking down to anybody. So if you're younger, I'm not talking down to you. And if you're older, you'll get what I mean. But if you're younger, listen to what I'm saying, because it's really respecting somebody's journey is what it's about, you know? And it's like, every person that I ever worked with in treatment, or every guy that I've ever sponsored, you know, or every friend of mine that I've had that's allowed me to be along the path of life with them, it's somebody allowing you to be part of their journey. Like, that's a big deal, okay? Like, that's a big, like, life is, like, that's, if you think about it, like, when I say we're born, we live, we die, like, this is it. Like, this is ours. This is all we have, right? So when somebody invites you along on that journey, like, that's really powerful, you know? When somebody says to you, thank you for your videos, or thank you for you inspiring me, like, that's powerful, okay? And that doesn't go missed on me at all, ever. I read every comment. I'm so behind on social media, you guys, right now. I just can't. I'm like having such a hard time keeping up with it. So I apologize that I haven't responded to the social media. Thank you to everybody that's new, that's out there, that's subscribed. And thank you to everybody that's been watching for a while. You guys know I love you. But those messages don't go missed on me. And basically translated, what they say is, I allow you to be part of this journey of my life. When people send me, you know, long messages and they say, this is what's going on with my family, or, you know, like, I went through a similar situation as you, or blah, blah, blah. I gotta turn this off because this is gonna, it's gonna overheat. I'll be right back. Okay, I didn't realize I had gone like a half an hour already. Wow. See, I get talking and then I could do 4-hour vlogs. I swear I could do 4-hour vlogs. Who'd watch them? It cracks me up. That's something else I need to say too. I want to thank you guys that like watch my vlogs in their entirety, even if you have them in the background where you're cooking dinner or cleaning the house, you know, doing your makeup, driving to work in the morning. Like, I just want to thank you so much. Like, you know, and this is like, this is such a labor of love for me. I mean, I look forward to this every night, you know, and I never thought a year ago that this is what I would be having a vlog channel where I drive around and I do this, and it's just so fun, you know, and just to talk about the most random shit, and it's like a living diary for me. It's kind of like a living journal, so to speak, and it's really helped me. It's really been super cathartic. But what I was saying before was, you know, I get all these messages. I'm probably gonna forget where I was at. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to let my camera cool for a second. But I get these messages from people, and they'll say, like, you know, I want a lozenge so bad. I have a whole bag right here, look. But I'm trying not to, because I know that it comes across as really crackly on the camera, but I'm starting to finally get my voice back. Can you hear it? Anyway, when I get the messages and the emails from people that say, like, they share their story with me, you know, and they say, like, this is what I've gone through, or, like, you know, like when people share their personal addiction stories with me, or they share, like, a family member's addiction story with me, or a toxic relationship. I just got a message from somebody today that said, they had messaged me like 2 months ago. Like, people think I don't know who they are. People think I forget who they are. And, they messaged me like 2 months ago and told me about their relationship that they were in, and that they really loved the person, but they knew that it was toxic, and they didn't know how to get out of it, and it was really doing like a lot of harm to them, but like they loved the person. You guys, I'm really sorry. I have to take a throat lozenge. My throat is killing me. I'll do my best to not clink it on my teeth. They messaged me today and they said, I just want to thank you so much for your videos that you've put out recently, especially this one about toxic people. I finally decided to leave this relationship because I'm more important than the other person. And I think that's such a powerful moment, you know, when you realize I'm important. Like, I matter. I matter more than what you think of me. It doesn't matter what you think of me. I matter more than that to me. I matter more than what other people think of me. I matter more than your relationship with me. I matter more than your happiness. I matter more than, you know, all of that. And I think, like, okay, and like, there are exceptions to this, okay? Let's just be for real. Like, if you have a terminally ill child, or a child that is super sick, or your children in general, okay? Like, obviously, you know, you're not more important than them. I mean, to some extent, I guess. But it's like, you don't go, well, I'm more important than you. I mean, I don't mean it like that, okay? What I mean is when you're in relationships with toxic people. And a lot of us have toxic children. I mean, I've worked with lots of parents that have toxic children, you know? I have lots of friends of mine that have toxic children. And I think that's really, really hard. I'll never forget that movie, Basketball Diaries, with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he plays Jim Carroll, the heroin addict. And that scene in it when his mom is like got her back against the door, and he's like knocking, he's like, Mom, please, please, Mom, please, I can't believe you do this to me. And she's just bawling her eyes out, you know? Or in the movie, and this is a lot about addiction, but in that movie 13, if you guys have seen it with Holly Hunter, it's fantastic. One of the best addiction movies I've ever seen. And that part where she grabs her arm in the kitchen and she sees where she's been cutting on herself, and the girl like tries to get away from her, and she just grabs her in her arms and she just hugs her, and she just is bawling, and she says, we're gonna get through this, and the girl's fighting her until the girl finally just relents. And that is who I want to be for people. I want to be that tight hold that says, we're going to get through this, okay? We're going to get through this no matter what. Whatever you're going through out there, you will eventually hear what you need to hear, probably on one video of mine or the others, honestly. I talk a lot about a lot of shit on here. When people send me their stories, and they send me a little bit of their soul, and they allow me in, you know, and I'm laughing because I was thinking about this the other day with talking about Tanya, and like when we had to do like a 4-step and a 5th-step and a 12-step program, and what that is that it's making a searching and fearless moral inventory of your life. And basically what you do is you make a list of all of your resentments and your angers and or your resentments and your fears and your sexual conduct. And then what you do in the fifth step is that you go over that with somebody and you take a look at what your part is in that. And I remember, like, Tanya and I were talking about it the other night, and she's like, when I came in to the rooms, she was like, I was like, no bitch is gonna hear what I have, why she need to know my secrets, And it's like, who am I? I am nobody for somebody to send an email or a direct message or this long snap or something telling me something so personal about their life. Like, do you realize what an honor that is? Like, honest to God, do you guys realize what an honor that is? That goes so far past you guys subscribing to my channel. That goes so far past viewing my videos. That is allowing me into your life. And I am forever grateful for that, I made some really incredible friends on YouTube. And not with YouTubers. I'm not talking about YouTubers at all when I say, I mean, that too, but I can hear it clinking on my teeth. There are so many people that I don't even mention in my videos. Like, even when I call out the people that I know, because they're always like front row. And I know people that upsets people. They're always like, well, you always talk about these like 3 or 4 different people. Well, it's because they're always like in the front row, of like the basketball game, so to speak. You see them there, right? Because they're like they're always in my live streams. They're very active. They're always like the first to comment, But then there's those people, those 20 to 100 people that I see you in my comment sections like all the time, and I know a lot about you by what you've shared with me, or I've read your messages, and everybody's important, all of us are important out there, no matter what. And if there are some messages I could send for people in 2018 that I would really like people to live their truth, we talk about resolutions and we talk about goals and whatever, but I think what I would like people to realize is that, number one, you are important, okay? You are worthy. No matter what your circumstances are, no matter what your story is, no matter where you come from, no matter who you are important and you are worthy. Number two is, I want everybody to realize that you have a story and your story is important. No matter if you've gone through some traumatic experience, or if you are, like a host at Walmart, or if you're a waitress that, works doubles every day, or if you're a stay-at-home mom, no matter what your story is, you have a story and your story is important, and it is valid, and it needs to be heard, even if just by one other person. And the third thing that I want to say is that everybody has a platform, that human life is a platform. And I shared this in my main video the other day on my main channel, and I think it's important that people get that. Your life is a platform, okay? You do not have to be a contestant on the Miss America pageant. You do not have to be a YouTuber. You do not have to be a social activist. You don't have to be somebody of that stature to have a platform, okay? Your life speaks of your platform. What you stand for, what you stand against, speaks of your platform, okay? It speaks of what you believe in and who you are. Think about this. Think about what you know about people that are very convicted, I was sharing, I don't know if I shared this in the video yesterday, but I was sharing this with somebody that, one of my moms, I've talked about her on here before, Susie. She's like my mother aunt. She calls herself Mother Susie to me, but anyway, it was my mom's sorority sister. And she's been like in my life since the day I was born, obviously, and she calls me, once every couple weeks and checks in, and she's just fantastic. And one of the neatest women I've ever met in my entire life. A huge football fan and loves to go skiing. Great grandmother. Not great grandmother. I mean, she's like a wonderful grandmother. Raised 2 daughters that I consider like cousins. She's just one of the coolest women in the world. And very intellectual, and listens to all kinds of music and reads, and she's just, I love her so much. She's so cool. And I was reading her Christmas letter, because she does one of those typed Christmas letters that I was joking about that I don't like. And she was like, it's been a great year, and talking about the grandkids, and she's like, the boys are doing this, and they're in these, league sports, and oh, so-and-so's 16 now, and she's driving around with her friends, so we don't see her much anymore and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, I'm still doing bridge club and traveling a lot, and I went to Normandy, France, and went to Scotland, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm reading all this, and then at the very bottom it says, I must say I'm disheartened with the direction that I see this country moving. I do have hope after what happened in Alabama recently. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, Susie, you know, like, I mean, and my mom was very similar to that, you know, like, never can once back down from a political, I mean, she has to get her politics in there at any moment, you know, very much like a Susan Sarandon politician, which I don't love that, but it cracked me up. I thought, you know, at 75 years age, here she is, she's got to get her 2 cents in on her Christmas card, you know? And that's what I mean, is that, like, whether you agree with that or not, like, you got to respect the fact that her life is a platform and what she speaks for, she doesn't tolerate it, you know? Like, I was looking on there with things that she does, and she was saying that, you know, she serves meals to the LGBT homeless youth in the city that she lives in. I didn't even know that. She's like, I'm still participating and serve the meals to the blah, 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 whatever. She's like, I've met so many good friends through that, and I do my bridge club with the girls that I work with there. And I was like, I didn't even know she did that, you know? I mean, she doesn't have gay kids. I mean, there's no reason for her to be aligned with that. And all these things that she does, you know, speak of who she is as a person. It speaks of her platform, of her life. And I was watching these Oprah aha moments, you know, and one of the things that Oprah said in there was, ask yourself what you would want someone to say at your eulogy, you know? Like, at your funeral, like in a eulogy. What would you want somebody to say? Because that should be how you should live your life. You should live your life with intention and the way that you would want somebody to speak about you at your funeral. She said she actually learned about that at Maya Angelou's funeral because such amazing, beautiful things were said. And I think that's very telling, you know? It's like, I mean, nobody says anything horrible at a funeral, let's just be for real. Nobody goes and says, well, he was an asshole, you know, which I always thought was hypocrisy. I also don't love when people go to funerals for somebody that they didn't like, you know, like, I think, like, that's just bogus. I've always, like, it's been an issue for me for a long time. They're like, are you going to Judy's funeral? I'm like, everybody in the world knows Judy and I didn't like each other. Why would I go to Judy's funeral? I think that's disrespectful to Judy, first of all, and her family that knows that we're not friends. No, I'm not going to go there and put salt in the wound, you know? But it's past just people saying nice things, like, oh, he was a nice guy. It's like, what specifically do you want your life to speak of, you know? She was a great mom. She made the most amazing, I'm thinking of Brittany and Baby right now, I don't know why. But, you know, like, she made the most amazing meals for her children, and she thought about everything that she put in there, you know, and the way that she played with them really showed that, you know, her mission in life and her career was that, you know, being a mom trumped all for her. You know, that was the most important thing. And what more beautiful than being a mother that is completely dedicated to her career as being a mother, you know? Or single moms that work 3 jobs and say, you know, no matter what, she worked 3 jobs, but her kids always came first, you know, food on the table and homework time and baths before she even sat down and took a break for 5 minutes, you know? I know lots of women like that. And not lots of, you know, just poorer women. I know a lot of women who are single moms and the dads are rather checked out and they do well and they have good jobs, but they work 1 or 2 jobs, or they work 1 job and they work 60 hours a week and they have to support their kids, you know, and I've worked with a lot of men, you know, that I've known a lot of men that are just as amazing, you know. I know a guy right now who the mother just walked away. I mean, he's a good friend of mine, and she was too, and she kind of had a break. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's very bizarre. She just kind of one day woke up and said, I don't want this life that I have. And, you know, she's left. She's gone. I mean, I don't respect it. I don't respect it at all. I don't even really understand it, you know? I don't really understand how you could do that. And I didn't have the opportunity to talk to her before this happened. I could see it coming. I could see something coming, you know, like where you see something about to happen, but you don't really understand it. She just walked away from her kids, all 3 of them, you know? Just walked away. And the dad's the sole caretaker, you know, full custody. Gets them up for school, does everything, you know? And it's interesting because people always say, like, it makes me so sad or it breaks my heart. He's an amazing dad. He's one of the coolest dads I've ever met in my entire life. Never complains. Not once do you ever see this man complain. Takes off work early to go to the girls' volleyball games. I mean, he is just incredible, you know? And that's what I'm saying. Like, what does your platform speak of? Who are you? You know, like, what do you want your life to speak of? We don't have to live these incredibly huge lives of, you know, social activism and change. Like, some of us that are changing the world are changing it on a very small level. Think about, I'm like driving past a Starbucks, but this is really poignant. You know, like, think about the person that, like, do you remember like 2 years ago that drove through Starbucks and bought the person's coffee behind them? And then it went on all day long, you know? There was like, what? I mean, I can't remember how many people they said that they ended up serving, and then it ended up happening all over the country. It was so funny because the other day I was going through Starbucks and this woman in front of me bought my coffee. And when it got to me, I was like, oh, thanks so much. That was really nice of her. And I almost pulled away and I said, oh, wait a second. I said, I better buy the person's coffee. Like, see, like, I like to think of myself as such a wonderfully altruistic person, but that's not really the case sometimes, right? Like, and let's just call it out for what it is. I mean, we're not all of us perfect, okay? Well, none of us are that great, right? And I go, oh my God, wait. I go, let me buy the person's coffee behind me. I go, because if this is one of those things where people are going to buy coffee all day long, I don't want it to end here, right? And the guy was laughing at me, or the girl was laughing at me, and she goes, okay, she goes, now it's like 15 something. I go, okay, that's kind of steep, but I guess I got it. I mean, you can't say it then, you know, but yeah. And then somebody told me the other day, and I really like this idea, that if somebody in front of them buys them coffee, they don't buy the person behind them coffee, they tip they ask the person how much their bill is, the person behind them, and then they tip them that amount. Because the people that work at Starbucks don't get tipped very often, apparently. I was like, I like that, you know? I just really, like, don't understand why we find it so difficult to be kind, to be caring, to pass it on, to think of the next person, to treat others the way, I mean, all of these things we learned in kindergarten. It's like that book, Everything I Ever Needed to Know, I learned in kindergarten, right? We learned how to play in the sandbox, right? We learned how to share toys. We learned how to not be mean to each other. You know, everything we ever learned, we learned before we stepped onto the bus for first grade. And yet we act like adults, and we act like we don't know how to, like, behave in the real world, right? But that's bullshit. We do. And I really, really believe, like, and this is my mission. I mean, this is honestly my mission in life, okay? I've, like, decided this recently. Because so many people have told me, oh, no, that's not possible. Oh, Peter, you're such an idealist. When I'll say these things, like, I believe that through passing it on and through being a kinder person, through being a better person, you know, through living with intention, through trying to make the world a better place on a daily basis just by small actions. Well, if 1,000 of us do one small action a day, that's 1,000 small actions out there. That's a lot. That's a powerful movement. And I want the wolfpack, me being just one part of that, to speak of that. And I want that to be what we do, what, like, our role in the world is by putting that out there into the world and being good people, you know, and trying to slowly affect a positive change, a tilt in the world, so to speak, you know. Did you like that? Tilt. No, but a tilt in the world, you know. I'm just one person. You're just one person. Together we're two. And two is more powerful than one. And 4 is more powerful than 2, and 8 is more powerful than 4, and we can do this. And I believe that, and I believe it. I'm not just an idealist, I believe it. I believe it. Because I believe that numbers have changed things in the past for the better, and I have to believe that we can do it moving forward, especially into 2018, you know? So, excited for 2018. I think a lot of really great things are going to happen. I think a lot of really good things are going to happen in the world. I'm looking forward to 2018. I always look at every new year with excitement. It's always an opportunity for change. It's an opportunity to reinvent yourself. It's an opportunity to, hit some things off your bucket list. It's an opportunity to live another life, And why wouldn't we just embrace that? That's awesome. So I'm excited about it. All right, you guys, I will see you tomorrow, New Year's Eve for you, and we will do a little countdown of all of the amazing events that have happened in 2017. It's been a fun year. It's been a good year. It's been an up and down year. I mean, there's been a lot of craziness. It's the bitter and the sweet. 2017 has been the year of bitter and sweet. So, all right, I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.